Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. Time for another video for the garage, and in this video I'm going to be going through how you remove all of the body panels off a Honda CRF300 Rally. So I'm going to do this as a standalone video and not linked to anything that I'm replacing under the panels, just because I think this is useful for people for doing a number of things, whether it's for cleaning, for replacing a broken panel, for just trying to access something else on the bike, whether it's for servicing, replacing the rear shock, replacing the bash guard, or even replacing the battery with a lithium battery. That's it, not a lot else to say really, so I'll just crack on. I'll try and show you all the steps. I do have my bike lifted up on my ABBA stand, which is more just so I can show you what I'm doing, but I think almost everything I'm going to be doing today you can also do just with the bike on its side stand or even just on a track stand. One thing you can't do on a track stand is get to the bash plate. So if you are planning on replacing the bash plate, I would recommend either doing that with the bike just on its side stand on the ground, just make sure it doesn't fall on you, or alternatively if you have a stand that can use the two lifting tubes, then to use that instead, and then it's completely clear. First thing I'm going to do is remove the seat. To do that I need to remove this rear panel, and to do that there's 4 bolts located here. If you've seen the video where I put the lifting strap on, or where I've been fitting racks, it's exactly the same bolts that need to come off. So these all use a 6mm Allen wrench. There's always someone who asks about these articulated wrenches that I've got. They're made by a company called Bodywork, and I will put an affiliate link in the comments and the description for this video. If you can see that, that's just those 4 bolts that have come out. On your bike they might look a little bit different if you've got the original ones. Alternatively, if you've got a rack on, it will be the bolts that came with the rack. These are actually the bolts that came with my H2C rack, which I'm using for just the lifting strap. The next thing to do is just take the seat out. So once these two, actually the only two you need to take the seat off, once those are off, the seat kind of, the front bit needs to come down. If you can see that, there's like this little hole in here which actually goes onto a nubbin on the bike, and the seat comes off. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just remove this rear plastic, and that's all 4 bolts are out. So this just comes off. So on the front end there is a little peg sticking out which goes into a bit on the bike. So actually to pull it out you do need to just ease it off slightly, and then it slips out. So that's just pushing the red bit away from the bodywork, and then that all comes out. The next thing I'm going to do is to remove this side panel. Now you can actually take this whole piece off in one go, but it puts a lot of stress just around this point where it joins. So I'd recommend taking them off separately. So this is kind of easy. There's only really 1 bolt in here that you need to take off. But then there is also this push pin in the top here, which I will show you how you get that out. So hopefully you can see this in here. So this is just a little push rivet. It's like a black outer bit with a black center piece, which you can actually push through. You can use a screwdriver. I'm just using a small Allen wrench. And once that's out, the whole fitting actually comes out. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. So it's just a little push rivet like that, and the way it goes back in again is you push the pin back up. You can see that's how it makes it come open. I'm just going to push that all the way back up so it's like that. So when you want to put it back together again, you push it back in the hole and you just push that pin down, and that locks it in place. So to remove this bolt, and most of the ones like it on the bike, it's a 5mm hex. So just up in here there is actually like a rubber fitting which you can just ease out. There we go, it's like a rubber grommet and a plastic fitting on the panel, and that will ease out. That bolt is off. Take that out. The one that comes out of there does have this little rubber washer on it. Not all of them do, so keep that one just to go back into that hole. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo this bolt on the next panel just to help to ease it off. Again, it's a 5mm. This one, if you see, it does not have the rubber washer, and I think it is slightly deeper as well on the bit there. So I'm just going to keep that with this particular panel so I know exactly where it goes. So I think that is everything. So now this panel should just pull off. Oh, there's one more rubber bit down around about here. And then, so it is kind of interlocking through this bit. So to get that off, it is just a slight bend out. There we go. And then that piece comes off in one. So if you want to get to the battery, that's all you have to do. The big heavy battery is located there. If you want to save a lot of weight, replace that with a lithium battery. The other things just to show you under here. So one is this red plug, which I think is it's the diagnostic plug that the dealers use. That should be in a rubber boot. What you also have here is the ABS fuses and also a spare fuse. Underneath here there's some of the additional electrics. I guess they're trying to keep as high as possible on the bike to keep them dry. And then up here you have your other fuse box, which is the one under the seat, which has for the starter, the high-low, all the lights, and then the fan, and then I think also an additional one in the main fuse. So that's all up here. What we also have in here is that there's a 10 amp spare fuse, and this one has a 30 amp spare. I'm now going to go around onto the other side and take this panel off. So on this side it is very similar to the other in that there is a small push rivet, and then there's just one bolt. There's two rubber mounting points, and I'm going to loosen this one to get it off. I won't talk you through this, so I'm just going to do this very fast. There we go, that's that one off. Not a lot to see on this side of the bike other than it's where you would access the exhaust if you want to change that. So now that that's off, it's the first time really that I've paid some attention to this, and actually it does feel like that is plastic. Rather, I just assumed that this was a metal heat shield. I can see now that actually the heat shield is underneath, and this is just, I think, a piece of plastic that goes on the top. It's useful to know, maybe. So the next thing I'm going to be removing is actually all of this section. I'm not sure whether this comes off in one go. I have seen a video where someone basically lifted the whole thing off. They didn't show exactly how they did it. I know that there are a number of mounting points. I've already removed this one. I know there's another bolt in here. Then there's three bolts for this forward triangle as well. And then there's also the ones holding the radiator in. And then I think there might even be some that are holding it to this front panel. So I'm just going to start taking them out. And then when I've realized exactly what releases what, I'll try and talk you through that just so you can use the right sequence rather than the sequence that I'm using. No rubber washer on that one. No rubber washer on that one either. That one did feel like it had a bit of thread lock on it. So yeah, maybe if they all need that just bit of a knock to get them off, then maybe I'll just put a dab of thread lock when I reassemble it. That one came off a lot more easily. This is the one sort of looking down from the top. And the third one, which is this one up here. Okay, that now certainly seems to be loose as this one's coming out. Okay, also no washer. So all four of those are the same. It's 1, 2, 3, and then the one there. So let's see now which of this comes off. So that did feel like it was kind of loose. Looking under there to see what is actually attached to the radiator. Now hopefully you can see under there. What I'm finding is when I move this panel, it is actually attached to the radiator. So you can see there's this piece here that's the radiator guard. It looks like between that tab and the push rivet here, that would slide out. I think it's actually on, maybe even that's it. You know, I think there's some pegs here that need to come out, so I'm going to push that one out, bring that up, and then yeah, that whole panel, I don't know if you can see in here, there's the tab down here, there's a tab here, there's another piece which goes in here, and another one lower down, but I've managed to actually pull all of those clear, so now that will come off in one go. I think if you actually wanted to get to it, there's a push rivet there which you would take out. So now that that's all clear, I'm hoping that this whole panel will come off as one. There we go, that felt like there was a bit of, oh yeah, there's some Velcro, 2 Velcro tabs on the side of the fuel tank holding that top bit up. Now this lower piece is actually bolted into that front guard, so I'm going to have to take that off. So all of these parts are plastic. Inside they are actually just the bare plastic, and outside they are painted. So if you need to lay them out somewhere, I think it is useful to have just a blanket or something on the ground, or a non-abrasive workbench where you can put them down. So now that's off, I'm hoping all of this panel is going to come off in one go. There we go, easy as that. So right now I'm going to go around the other side, do the last few things to take the panel off the far side. It's exactly the same with one there, one at the top, one in here, and one down there, because I've already taken this one out to take off the rear panel. So I'll just take those four off. Okay, so on this side, that lower one has a rubber washer, the others don't, and then the last one up here. And I'm expecting there's going to be some Velcro under here. Certainly, So we do have one more thing on this side, which is that we've got the wiring loom. So let me move the camera around. So for those of you who have used your accessory socket, you'll know that it's actually located in here on the side. And actually this wiring loom is actually clipped into the panel. So I'm just going to see if I can remove that before I do anything. One other thing I've noticed down here is that there is this bolt which is holding this piece of plastic on, so I'll take that off. I'll take that bolt out, remove that hopefully as well, and then up in here I'll unhook the wiring loom from the panel, and then hopefully everything will come away. So to remove the wiring loom, there is actually a, you probably can't quite see it on the camera, it is almost quite difficult to see without the camera, but there is two hex screws that are actually holding the loom in place. So I'm just going to see that if I can remove the hex screws that are in here, another one back there, if I can then just move the loom away from the panel before I have to take it off. Now this panel itself, other than concealing that wiring, doesn't actually do a great deal. So if you're just replacing something else, you probably don't actually need to take this off. Nevertheless, here we go. I'll try and do this so you can see exactly what I'm doing. That's one screw just under there. Now these are the sorts of things which I can imagine are challenging to get out, but could be even more challenging to get back in. But nevertheless, if you want this panel off, they are going to have to come off, otherwise you risk damaging your wiring. There we go. That is clear. And that is just a self-tapping screw. Didn't feel a washer come out. Okay, so now that one is clear, like that. So if you can see that under there, I actually can't see it, but I can feel it. So now I'm going to remove the next one, which is a screw down here, just in there. So that's that one off, and then now that just pulls out. So now that whole panel is, I think, clear. I do think that there's that other bolt is definitely still holding it in place. So that's this one down here. So I'm just going to take that out. So I think that should be everything. So that's all the bolts out now. So I'm hoping that this will just pop off the Velcro. There we go. 2 bits of Velcro in there. That's all clear on there. Just need to look at this piece that goes onto the coolant tank. There's still something in here which is bolted in. There we go. Oh. So I think on this side, on the outer side of the coolant tank, it looks like there is still something that's just going into the bodywork. So where this is sticking is something's still holding this panel in. So I think what I'm going to do is there is a push rivet at the top, which I'm going to take out, and then the outer panel shall come away from it, and then I can see better exactly what needs to come out. So the push rivet is just in here. So now you can't quite see it on here, but the push rivet is just in there. So I've taken that off, so now I'm hoping that all of this outer piece will now come free. Okay, it's still held on. There goes the pin from my push rivet. It's still not coming out, but there is one more push rivet, which is just in here, that I'm going to remove, and hopefully that will free up the outer panel. So now the whole outer panel comes off. So yeah, there are those 2 push rivets that need to come out. So now that's almost everything off. The last thing that I was just struggling to get off was this panel here. And I think it's because I couldn't see what it was hooked into. I thought that by taking it off, I might actually be able to get a look in. There is something just linked in, something just connected around some sort of fixing on this far corner. So I'm guessing this is just somewhere there is a knack to getting that out. I think it just pulls forwards, but it's getting it to the angle where you can actually do that. Oh, there we go. So that was what the last piece was. It was this kind of two-pronged plastic fitting that actually needed to be pushed back that way to get it back out. So that's the last piece of bodywork off. So just to recap, it was to take off the seat, the rear panel, the side panels plus 1 bolt, plus the little pin that goes in it. And then everything else just kind of came off. It did seem to come off in the sequence that I did it, but I think if I did it again, I would take this lower panel off first, because that did bolt into the 2 on either side. That is my video on how to remove all of the body panels off a Honda CRF300 Rally. So this is one of the videos that is different between the CRF300 Rally and the CRF300L, simply because there's just a lot more bodywork on the Rally. But hopefully it's been useful. If it has, please like and subscribe. Please see my other videos for the things that I'm now going to do to the bike now that all the bodywork is off. So this is going to be fitting the new skid plate, fitting the new rear shock. At some point I'm going to do something else with the wiring, not sure exactly when. Those videos won't be up at the time when this goes up, but they will all follow in the next days when I get around to doing the edits. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.